Hi, guys. Today is April 9th, 2025. David Zadov is with me. Hi, David.
Hey.
Everyone, welcome on board. We're going to talk about tariffs today again because that's an important thing on the agenda right now. So, what do you think, David? The all that fast that we were witnessing with first announcing tariffs in general, announcing tariffs on everyone, 10% reciprocal plus some high tariffs on Europe, very high on Vietnam, Cambodia, and Indonesia, India. And then rumor yesterday morning about 90 days pause, and then markets goes up, and then Trump administration saying no, it's not going to happen. Then today it's happening. Today there's a 90 days pause for 75 countries that already called and wanted to kiss President S, as he said, as I mentioned, to do a deal with the United States. And that's why for those 75, it's going to be paused on 90 days for negotiation. And
Yeah,
for
it's
China,
gonna be paused because they all came to negotiate, not because the economy crashed.
right.
No. It's because they wanted to negotiate. I won so good. It's the art of the deal. They told me the economy hasn't even recovered. Like it is at half of what it. So it lost 6,000 points, uh, in the whole in the whole crater, from the original, caused by the original
You mean stock
announcement.
exchange?
Yeah,
But again,
and
already,
then
yeah.
the Dow lost 6,000 points, and now it's only recovered 3,000 points, and it's plateauing because Trump decided to keep the tariffs on China and actually raise them to 125%. So I guess a lot of people are holding out, buying back their stocks until he also pauses the China tariffs, which I don't think is gonna happen. When it comes to the tariffs themselves, I think it was a hilariously uneducated decision, and they didn't make much effort to cover that up. In the 500-page document they provided, which justified their tariffs, first of all, AI Scanner says it's AI, but also uh, the numbers that they give for the tariffs, the numbers they provide about foreign countries' tariffs on the U.S. are inconsistent with the numbers that they give in the actual tariff reciprocal. Like the equation doesn't work; it's made up. Uh,
Well,
that
for
be-
that, I have
yeah,
answer for this. I can answer for that. Why is it happening? There's a lot of inconsistencies, discrepancies. It's okay, because some reciprocals were not exactly the matching thing. It was just half of what they charge, as administration saying. And also, besides real tariffs that you can see in every country that got reciprocals, also, there are certain things that embedded in the system that makes American goods sell American goods on the markets are not profitable.
yeah,
Like
I
it's
know. Uh,
so it's both. It's
that's not what
yeah.
I was talking about. What I'm talking about is they in the actual famous images where they say, oh, this country is giving 25% tariffs, so we're going to put like 50% tariffs, or the other way around. Uh, it's inconsistent with the actual documents. Like they can't decide what the tariffs on the U.S. goods actually are. They don't know. They're just making shit up. Pardon my
Yeah,
language.
that might be.
But
That might be. But my question is
um,
different. Okay, I understand there is a lot of things that is not looks like not thought throughout like well.
yeah,
So let's put that issue aside, inconsistencies, discrepancies. I'm more concerned with the general message and with the discrepancy and controversy inside the policy. Like on the one side, we see the president is saying that America is a great nation, should get all industries back to America on the
gotcha.
one side,
Yeah.
like investment and build in America, produce in America, get workforce back on track, for because if you want a zero tariffs, you bring your production things in America.
Yeah, but it's
Hold
wrong.
on, hold on, hold on.
Uh,
I'm trying to describe a discrepancy.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, David, I didn't finish. Now, that's the first message that administration is sending. The second message administration is sending, if you talk to us, if we're going to have negotiations, open doors open, we can talk, and then tariffs going to be zero. So if tariffs going to be zero, how can you hope for bringing industry back. If tariffs not going to be zero and you want to have negotiations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, if you're bringing that back, that's a long-term policy. If you have long-term policy like bringing industry back, you can't have negotiations and make tariffs and free trade and zero trade because you want to bring industry back. So it's either this or that.
So but that's what I've been saying from the beginning. Trump has no idea what he's doing with tariffs. He doesn't even know what his goal is. He has changed the goal repeatedly, multiple times of the tariffs.
It doesn't mean he doesn't know. It means that he have multiple things on agenda. Either this or that gonna work.
But But you just mentioned that they're contradicting each other.
They're true.
So he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it doesn't know. It might be intentional. So let's try to understand why he's doing that, because he's a gambler. It's a gamble. It's a gamble.
He's a gambler.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a gamble, and in this gamble we might lose, we might win. But in this gamble, the more probability to win. Why? First of all, because we have huge trade disbalance, like huge trade deficit with other world. So in this case, we have less to lose than them. So they're more inclined to talk to us. China is aside. We're going to talk about China in a while, like in a short while. I'm saying European Union, Vietnam, Indochina, those industrial powerhouses that are bringing a lot of stuff to America, they're in a position, they're interested more to talk than to go for trade war. With China is a little different story. And with that, the idea is like that when I impose tariffs on you, I'm already have leverage now. If you're going to retaliate, you have more to lose if you're not going to negotiate. That's what Trump is saying basically with the policy. That's
all right. So here's two things. First of all, the first message, quote unquote, that he sent is just not true. When you move production back into America, it's not like manufacturing is not going to become is not going to have a 0% tariff, because you still need to import the raw materials from other countries. An extreme example: coffee is grown nowhere in America. There is no climate in America.
That's not industry. It's coffee. It's agriculture. I'm not talking agriculture now. That's
okay. But agriculture will be affected. But let's talk about something else. Okay, Tesla. Let's say you want to manufacture a Tesla, and they are manufactured in the United States, but all their parts come from China and Africa. You can't make a Tesla based off the materials in the United States.
Yeah, you have to build factories here who produce
at the same time,
small things, right?
Yeah. At the same time, America is a consumer economy and is a skilled worker-based economy. We are not manufacturers. We do not make plastic toys that cost 10 cents a piece, because we do not have the such cheap labor, and we don't want to have such cheap labor. We want to be focusing on things in the world that matter more, like advancements in science and advancements in like mining technology. You don't need to have a country of factory workers and conveyor workers and child laborers. Isn't that what we need? So do you think
Trump doesn't understand? Do you think Trump doesn't understand this?
I don't think he has any idea. He wants, fundamentally, even if you believe that we should move some production back into America, Trump does not stop there. He literally wants an autarky. He wants the autarky. He wants everything to be moved back into the United States, because he's so disconnected from reality that he thinks that moving everything back into the United States, like literally all production, like plastic even, would be a great idea. He thinks America could live as isolationist.
I don't think he believes this. I don't think that's a problem.
That's his own
thing underlying.
That's his very clearly conveyed agenda.
I think it's a gamble. Nah, he understands what you're saying. It's elementary Adam Smith. It's elementary comparative advantage. He does know Adam Smith.
Adam Smith literally said, "Never do tariffs." He's the most
right.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, Adam Smith said, "Fuck tariffs. Don't ever do tariffs. Never do tariffs. Tariffs destroy economies." That's what Adam Smith said. Don't do tariffs. So yeah, he hasn't read Adam Smith. You're right. He hasn't read. I don't think he's read any economist in the last 50 years. Maybe he's read Keynes, and done it pretty badly. Like, I don't think he understands what he's doing. I think even if he did understand what he was doing, it wouldn't be much better.
Listen, for this, I have to tell you that to say that president, who has a normal education, by the way, and he's second-time president. He doesn't understand how economy works. After all, he is a real estate developer. He does know how economy works. Also, he signed a lot of contracts and he earned some money. He used to like in the business, you can be bankrupt someday, but then you recover, you get up, and you do it. So it's not like something we can say he doesn't understand something. It's too naive to think this. He is understanding economical processes. He's not PhD from Harvard like he's Peter Navarro. He's a trade representative, for example. He has in a team people with PhD from Harvard. He has people with huge experience in investment, like Scott Bessent is the Treasury Secretary right now. He used to have Steven Mnuchin, who was the CEO of Goldman Sachs for many years. I mean, he does have an idea about economy. It's not like we can say that. Whoever saying this either naive or just manipulating, like it's not possible.
Okay, to
So
say
the thing is, so we gotta look at hold on. So I think that we have to look at the problem of contradicting messages, of different like and self-contradicting agenda or discrepancies in what administration signals that they are sending about tariffs is a gamble, but not lack of understanding of economical processes. They do understand. Probably much better than we are. They do understand. He has a lot of economic counsel in front of him who is advising.
Okay. So when we talk about who Trump surrounds himself with, it doesn't matter. He had a team of the most some of the most qualified professionals from 2016 or 2017 to 2021, and yet he still managed to ignore every single one of them and just do his own thing. Now he has a team of yes men. Even if they're the most qualified people ever, they will just accept whatever Trump wants to do because that's the reason they're there. If they try to stop Trump, they will be fired. Trump has consistently conveyed this message.
But he's listening. You're right. He's doing what he wants, but he was absorbing info and listening for quite some time. It's not like in his circle of people he talks to in administration, he doesn't listen. He does. He makes decision himself. But you can say that he doesn't listen. He does, and everybody's saying that he discussing things with staff. It's not like otherwise he doesn't need staff. He needs to discuss it with someone, and he's doing this. It's not something new. Everybody's saying that he is absorbing. He might not say his opinion right away, but eventually it's going to be like he wants. As a president, he has the right to do that. I mean, and it's true that he surrounded himself by loyal people. Not all of them are yes people, like 100%, but they're all 100% loyal. There's a difference between loyalty and yes man. But
Right.
still, he has professionals, and they are, as usual, like Treasury Secretary is more dovish. Trade representatives and Commerce Secretary, like Latnik, they are more hawkish. That's normal. It's like used to be in previous administration also. But let us, because we can discuss this forever, but let us switch to China, because with China, it's a different approach. It's a war. It's a real trade war
now it's
already.
a trade war.
125% already, and before Trump under Biden was already 21. So altogether, it's 146% tariff. It's decoupling.
At this point, if that doesn't prove that Trump wants the autarky, I don't know what does, because most of the stuff we get from China is the stuff that we are not willing to manufacture in the United States. We are not like giving away jobs to China, because these jobs, like mining coal and making like plastic toys and making iPhones, these were rarely or never in the United States. These were jobs that were given to China when they started their mass manufacturing in the 80s and 90s. So when to say that China tariffs on China would be a good idea, which is I know you're not saying, and I think you're probably I think I'm getting from you that you don't think you're a good idea, right?
I'm thinking, I have to tell you what I think. It's more political than it's economic, because China is a threat to American hegemony, as America, both camps, by the way, Democratic and Republican alike, they consider China is a threat for number of issues that we have with them.
Yes.
So, but with trade, they have huge profit, and we have huge deficit, like 3 times. Like I think it's $600 billion or $500 billion deficit with China for 2024. Out of $1,100 billion overall deficit, trade deficit of United States, 500 billion is with China alone. So now, in direct confrontation, China has more to lose, but also options that China can resort to, it's limited because they cannot devalue yuan, renminbi, the currency, because they have then they won't be able to substitute yuan as a reserve currency, like for trade with China partner. That's what they're trying to do, de-dollarization of economy. It's one thing. And if you have non-stable currency, like you devalue renminbi, then that currency cannot be trusted. It's one thing. The other thing, they have a $1 trillion in American bonds. George W. Bush Jr. was genius enough in 2007 to like persuade them to buy trillion of American bonds, and they did on $1 trillion.
China?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in 2007. So they are actually interested in American prosperity, because when America prosper, they earn. If America falters, they falters together. We're like twins now. So
Yeah.
now they
Yeah.
also they cannot dump that trillion, because if they dump that trillion in bonds, want to sell it and get that trillion back out, they're gonna crash dollar, and it's also not good for them, because for stability of their own currency, it's not good, and it's gonna destabilize market inside China as well. So they in kind of setup. It's problematic for them to react. So they're going to react in that war through creation of domestic consumption, increasing the domestic consumption using reserves. But how long they can last? They do have huge amount of export to the United States. So in this war, probably we're going to win, I think. Don't you think?
So I disagree with you on the idea that China will lose the war of attrition to the trade war here. Because China is, well, first of all, there are two different dynamics, right? U.S. is a consumer-based economy, China is an export-based economy. But also, China has a much more diversified portfolio, let's call it. They have a much more diversified market, so they could sell to Europe or Japan or South Korea or Indonesia or India, and they have a bunch of raw materials that even other manufacturing countries need. So when we say, or when we talk about the trade, this war of attrition that we're trying to have with China, China can take the hit. If the goal of China is to become the economic hegemon within the next 10 to 20 years, all they have to do is wait, and if they want to accelerate it, they can put reciprocal tariffs on the United States. What they're doing now is egregious. I do think China will take a significant, will take a negative hit if they, take out all their bonds, but they will stay afloat. The United States right now is treading water when it comes to the countries it gets its manufacturing from. One thing I do agree is that we should not. One thing I do agree with is that we should not entrust such a large part of our manufacturing to China. I think we should diversify more. I think we should have some in India, some in Indonesia, some in the Philippines, some in Japan, some in South Korea, more than we have now, because in the case that China decides it's time, we have to annihilate the dollar, we need to be ready, and we need to be able to stay afloat. But if China decides, let's screw it, 1,000% tariff on U.S. goods, and we're stopping all exports to U.S., U.S. will take a worse hit, most definitely.
We need rare earth.
Yeah.
We need rare earth, because they're going to limit the export of rare earth already in case it continues. So we need Russia again. So Russia is the ultimate winner of all that trade war, by the way.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Russia is the winner of the trade war, and that's what Russia was hedging their bets on. Russia was hedging their bets on the idea that Trump would not only not tariff Russia, but would stab his own allies in the back and destabilize the economy of the West in general. Putin knew that this was probably going to happen when Trump was talking about 60% tariffs on China throughout the election cycle and 20% tariffs on the EU. You know, so like I'm sure Putin was like jumping for joy when he saw this 104% tariff and then 125% tariff. He was just like throwing a party. I'm sure.
And he can be very nice friend to China, like reciprocate for China that has done since 2022, helping Russian economy, by the way.
Yeah.
So now he's going to help Chinese economy, present huge market for Chinese goods as already for last 3 years, by the way. I see Chinese electric cars in Moscow, BID, and all over.
Mhm.
All over, not only any Chinese car, like luxury, not luxury, you name it, they're there.
Yeah.
And electric cars also. So I'm saying we have a winner now, but I think that Trump and Xi will agree on something. I think that's not going to be a very extended trade war. Eventually, somebody going to present a window of opportunity for them to talk. I think in June they're going to meet. That was in preparation.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to work. Otherwise, we're going to suffer some pain. We're going to suffer some pain. That's what I think. Thank you very much, David. David Zadov, thank you. Appreciate your input. And after Pastor holiday, we're going to resume our activities, I hope, God willing. Thank you very much. Guys, thank you. Kirill Zadov, David Zadov with you tonight, discussing tariffs and China. Bye.